ebusuafo mu akwa ba mu atrase be Coastal Television nisem afiso why na de bi osane be pede wonu ya aneba de pen bosom fofo ana bosom dada no obase ne kura inde ya say yewu oye bosom fofo mu da na ebusua mo akwa ba na mo atrase na makamfa mo de Coastal Television digital 514 na ayuhwe the mara na Go TV no do oye channel 54 St. Edward St. Augustine when digital box in the channel 22 center focus and pay about that ya the ende ye fida do so ma ye no da otodo ebien o so fofo kra enye esuso kitaba bo so na abri ye wemi na me bo so ma ye no de ebusan semepi na owom ye din kan ye di na da odi kan ye di na ahomje da so no de wa basoro ko na ya da today bi na kan ye fida de. Thank God it's Friday. Open kukubasa na bakachero. Na inde fide so you will be mo you will be the chair there. Center focus. Sama and the pay so ya share every day. You boko ga no man pay na so ye ya kwen sam ko ana ebe na record. Adada edumefo wudi wona fide da na ebe na sam no man pay nkwanche sama okay to won akomodo boko akohwe bi. Ya ba fi aya man pay na so ye na ya ba fi man to ba ya boyen sam record ye fi wa nechi ya ba oye ogwamensin na soye kwanchefu pe na omopi we kupe mu oye osaba ma doctor kwesata to be na himfie ebe na nsam na okan boko yakohwe bi yefu a na ya be fi aboyen nsam ko anabi bi do ho no da tutum ansana yakodo boka te na podo na nne fide obeka gwento ebusai titini kaka da mon na no wotuba ye jem izama Umar bin Abdallah na ojem komo twitwi bia akaso na kaye fide de politics bebem na so we gina ana watena se de dwubedo otene so odi abro na yen shase yen femfifie ogamensim asoye abanka chipen na odano meche owe Justice George Apa na nano wonatre na okupe mu wono na odi na seda na odi kama na nanom na okede no we da chere na ebusua yen kwantete bi
There are challenges. One of these challenges in Cape Coast, Odama Tomato, we are observing the doctor. This will be charged to Mam Hempa, Nawagua, Ma, Wakabu, Amen, only if ya, Wabrook, or a Benson. If a baby are a Benson, if he ever hope. Now, he are roho. If a baby are so baby, fufu, ever hope, food, conduct a foolish, no two, Ra, ọmọ yàrá òhùzí láyé wọn ní challenge ní orílẹ̀-èdè náà sẹ́bi ìpènyìnfó yẹrẹ́bà lẹ́yìn àbọ̀mọ̀ ọ̀sá abẹ́rẹ́ mẹ́rin kòwé ẹ̀yìn nàná mímú agbóhùn mà lónú àtúnyè tí òbí nù òsùn bóyá tó fún ma yẹn ìgbà ẹ̀kọ́ náà yẹn ní bá fún mi.
Wọ́n jẹ́ sísá kẹ́kẹ́ sẹ́ ìwé inú ọ̀sábà máa bá tòkè sátọ̀ tó kébì ló gbá máa hẹ́n náà so na ọ̀yẹ́ council state member ọ̀dọ̀ náà sẹ́mi tó gbọ́ kyerè mi bẹ́ẹ̀ nìkọ́ wẹ́ ọ̀yẹ́ kọ́tẹ́ ayọ̀ bẹ́yẹ bẹ́ẹ̀ amanyafo wɔn nsa da mfa nananom mfa wɔn nyɛ hwee na nkyɛn abaade na ɔyɛ fɛ dɛ efinkan na ɛrebɛguai ebi de dwuma biara a ɛyɛ minister anaa ɛyɛ wɔn mpo ɔda bɔ mɔdɛ kɔ ahemfie kada ohun edi dɛ nana mɛbɔbɔ apɔ mɛbi di dwuma bi wɔ gua mu ntom na mmpawo anampo mensɛm mɛbi gyina gua mɛdi dwuma na mɛyɛ mo nkɔ na asɛm ba na no wɔ fɛ ne nanom dɛ wɔn bɛ na wɔn tiri mu ana mpanyin aka dɛ ɛkɔkɔ mu abisa amankwa na ɔno na ɔde ne man ampa sɛ ɔnyɛ dɛm da na ɔno nsɛm pii ɔmaa kabinam keda mɛmu no ontompon ɔsaba ma dɔkta kusato tode bien na nsɛm ɔkari bi na abanka chipe na ɔhwɛ ogwamensi na pɔba dameda no ɔbɔ aprɛw wɔ ɔyɛ ogwamensi no onye a wɔwɔ so wɔ n'asɔre ma ɔma wɔn akwaba no anada wɔwɔ nyinaa ofi Ghana Medical Association wɔn ekuba kyerɛ ɔwɔ ɔman Ghana na ta wɔn so wɔreba na wɔde mbɔ n'adwuma mbɔ n'yɛ na akwaba sonko ɔde abra ɔyɛ ogwamensi nka chipe na aban eyi ne dɛ ɔmohwɛ ogwamensi no mekyerɛ Honorable Justice George Atta na nkɔmɔtwitwa ɔkɔɔ no ebusua yɛkɔhwɛ bi yɛmfi ɔno ne nsɛm no do na yɛnkɔ NPP amanyaku wɔne atɛn yɛnyimpɛfɛ dɛ NPP amanyaku bɛyɛ dapɛnekuri na wɔtesi wɔ dɛ wɔreda ase wɔ ɔyɛ ɔman Ghana ne fa ase mekyerɛ asantemantom na wɔn na aprabɔ no rekɔdo no nsɛm pii kasisi kaba ne dɛ abɛnteɛ a ɔno osusu dɛ ɔne adwuma dza ama owura kennedy akɔpɔ japan pepe yi mɛntie bi wɔde hɔ ɔne nya de ɔne nya adwen wɔawɔ secondary wɔmfa mmra ɔmo kennedy akɔpɔ japan na akoma amba soro tententententen bɛsi sɛ wɔatwene wo afiri ɔyɛ NPP thank you tɔ no a wɔrekɔ wɔatwene wo afiri mu dɛ ɔnkɔ bio ɔsa na ɔnta ase dɛ obi gye akyi na ɔbɛba nnɛ wɔn a wɔsɔpɔte no ebinom bɛsi ne wɔn adwen dɛ gyama wɔrebɔ musu ɛnyɛ musu bi na wɔrebɔ nti ansa na honorable kennedy akɔpɔ ogye kumase ɔkɛn no yɛhwɛ bi.
I'm telling you the truth. Obia onye bema nche obia. But party nti enipa bi tumi kasa te se omu emema. Omu nye member. Eba contributions yenyi sika omu tumi be mu kosresre. And they talk as if the whole world is for them. It's not for them. And yet ekuru ya. Because some of them cannot even speak the way they speak. Because bam fi ekuru awufadi. Ebi mo ye podcast ma wo mo. On ba ro mba too long. You see ye panokura mom yanka. I will not respect you. But may respond to anybody unless I can show down. Anybody akuma wasro ekasa ye pe memo party mu yankomo ye ma minisa was ka minsire sika mu here for promotion mu dibi kasa kokugro so ye ne sika for please who born dog number to me talk anyhow who born dog number to me talk anyhow kukuru sisi ya du so no ono so 2023 presidential elections no o contest bi yeni ya die nyina peku transport
Honorable Kennedy Akopako Japan nokoi na na akoma abasoro papa nti e kase wa twere de fi oye campaign and thank you Tona Fadbera another MPP amanye kuwe ko ina no wa twere ho odi efim ebusanyo konsem fofom Ghana Mampay Excellency John Dramani Mahama we jeli tudo na wa bo ajejefo esuan wolitin be the mon kofi wonko na onko toto nano na wototo nano wi a wo the one akọ oye Supreme Court there where Supreme Court ajejefo ebusia wana Mampay abo wolitin on a justice said Dennis Dominic Eje ono no Mampay abo wolitin mo de kanwen or today be justice Gabriel Simon Soboy Otodo Ibasa Justice Sonyo Zamifi Damara Otodo Anan Justice Koku Tewia Aka Buafo Otodo Num Justice Flip Bright Mensa Otodo Isia Justice Janapri Baptist Kodo Otodo Isan Justice Hafita Amata Bumba ideni ebishama mwe ya ofancham eye mambure ya ofancham papa ntira me in person na Ghana Mampay edeni tumudo na wabo onudi na woko Supreme Court na another one kwaro woto tonano wodi unu tuma na ta woko Supreme Court adjefo osanda ibinum woro pension binu kwa mujim ente the Supreme Court adjefo another person adjefo sona Mampay na bo onudi ni onko tonano na onko nkaye oyo Supreme Court judge fo ebusia ma yenchen samodo anada na oye amani na da we case wode yan fankai edwumayafo won afudida na edwumayafo omo de ye mo de edwuma na beina aka da opanye bia afatana pabadi inti sepeyi edwuma menu wo fifire ewo kra na etweneka na masemi o Bible na so nkofupi won fa yedwuma edwum pefupi won fa yedwuma dodore o fo nkofedwuma bosomusa betema 15th 13th empokisi the next month ibirpa tema ba bosom meni wonya ne chinpo untwe da mkofo ote da mnakaw na Ghana Mampay Excellency John Dramani Mahama anada oje mitumudo na onyi edwumafo twetwe nkomo obo na bado na o sewu nkran be achia na so ombi etem no wa efi yakwo be ye benhwe Ghana Mampay ni sama okay nibi
national unions and organized labor groups, comrades and distinguished workers. Let me proceed on established protocol so that we can save on time. Let me start by wishing all our gallant workers of Ghana a happy May Day. And I stand before you with profound gratitude and immense pride as the President of the Republic of Ghana and Commander of the Armed Forces to say Aiko to all Ghanaian workers. Today is not just another day on our national calendar. It is May Day, a sacred moment of reflection, celebration, and appreciation of our nation's workers. It is a day set aside to honor the gallant men and women through whose tireless hands, resilient spirits, and unwavering commitment we continue to build the Ghana we all want together. On behalf of the government, and indeed the entire people of Ghana, I wish to extend our heartfelt gratitude to every worker across the length and breadth of our nation. I say congratulations to the farmer who rises before dawn to go and till the land. I say congratulations to the nurse who stays late into the night caring for the sick. I say ayiko to the teacher who shapes the minds of our children. I say well done to the engineer who builds our roads and our bridges. And I say congratulations to the market trader, the artisan, the mine worker, the factory worker, and the security officer, and even the entrepreneur for keeping our nation going. Each of you forms a part of the heartbeat of our national journey. Your resilience through recent economic challenges that tested the very fabric of our endurance as a nation has been nothing but heroic. You demonstrated that the spirit of the Ghanaian worker is unbreakable. When adversity came knocking, you answered with hard work. When uncertainty loomed, you responded with hope. You are indeed the true architects of our recovery, and you are the backbone of Ghana's future. It is because of your sacrifices, your dedication, and your endless optimism that we gather not just to acknowledge you, but to celebrate your greatness as workers. From the very first day I assumed office as president, I made a solemn promise to stand with you, to fight with you, and to prioritize your welfare above all else. I understood then, as I do now, that the prosperity of Ghana cannot be separated from the well-being of its workers. In February this year, just a few weeks into my administration, I demonstrated this commitment by meeting with the National Tripartite Committee. After thorough consultations, we agreed to increase the national minimum wage by 10%, raising it from 18.15 Ghana cedis to almost 20 cedis, effective from 1st March 2025. I understand and respect your sense of sacrifice on this matter, considering that inflation at the time was hovering at a whopping 23%. I'm fully aware that this 10% increase is not optimal, but the circumstances of our economy dictated that we do so at this particular time. As I told you, this year's budget is a reset budget. And my hope is that with the austere steps we are taking this year, we will be able to see better remuneration in the next couple of years ahead. My comrades and friends, sacrificing to rescue our country from the economic ledge into which it was plunged is not meant for workers alone. You are not the only ones to tighten your belts. Sacrificing is meant for all of us who are servants of the people, including I. And that is why I will lead by example. I will be prudent and modest in handling of our public resources, and I expect all my appointees to do the same. But improving wages is only the beginning. True commitment demands bold action that go beyond just immediate relief. That is why in March, I organized the historic National Economic Forum that brought together stakeholders from every sector, labor leaders, employers, civil society, academia, and policymakers to engage in honest, forward-looking dialogue on a fiscal policy for our economy going forward. At this forum, we mapped out short-term, medium-term, and long-term transformative policies to rebuild and reposition our economy for sustainable growth. Following this spirit of innovation and forward planning, we presented the maiden budget of this government to Parliament, which is anchored on stabilizing the economy and salvaging it from the path of destruction. Beyond stabilizing the economy, the budget was heavy on multi-sectoral investments, which are aimed at revitalizing the productive sectors and putting Ghanaians to work. Spanning infrastructure to technology through to agriculture, we have committed to constructing a robust and resilient economy that enables us to meet our needs in a sustainable manner. Our agricultural investments are fashioned around the Feed Ghana initiative, which is a bold step that seeks to modernize agricultural production, agribusiness, and create sustainable jobs along the agricultural value chain. By supporting our farmers with improved seeds, access to technology, and better market opportunities, we will not only be securing our food systems, but will also be empowering our rural communities and ensuring that agriculture becomes a powerful engine of our economic growth. As President, I understand that true development cannot be achieved unless people who drive that development, our workers, are supported, they are respected, and they are empowered. I understand that the Ghanaian worker does not just want praise on May Day, but he wants action every day on making his conditions better. The Ghanaian worker wants a government that will walk its talk, a government that will stand by you through hardship and prosperity alike. And I'm here to assure you that this government under my leadership is that government you have been waiting for. I've taken note of the issues raised by my brother and comrade Joshua Ansah, General Secretary of the TUC, on the long-standing and inequitable disparity in public service wage structure. And this is the reason why, as part of the Constitution review process, attention will be paid to the establishment of a permanent independent emoluments commission that will determine a fair and equitable public service wage structure so that we can bridge the unacceptable gap between the conditions of service of Article 71 office holders and other sections of workers within the public sector. I know that morale in the workplace is more than just a matter of salary. It is about dignity, it is about fairness, it is about opportunity and trust. It is about the feeling that your labor is recognized and that your voice is valued and your future is secure. And that's why I'm committed not only to improving conditions of service, but also to restoring hope and confidence in the Ghanaian workforce. My administration will invest in morale-boosting interventions that matter. We'll introduce comprehensive reforms across the public and private sector labor environment by ensuring timely salary payments, modernizing workplace conditions, and reducing the bureaucratic bottlenecks that frustrate your productivity. We'll also prioritize better occupational health and safety policies and ensure timely pension contributions and payments, and eliminate the neglect that many of our retired workers have had to endure for far too long. Every worker deserves to retire with pride and not with anxiety. It is only recently we undertook major reform in our pension administration introducing different tiers in our pension payment scheme. And yet, as Comrade Joshua Ansah has rightly stated, there are severe distortions and inequality in our pension system. I will initiate a preliminary discussion with stakeholders through a mutually selected ad hoc committee to make proposals on how the current challenges with our pension system can be addressed. And the organized labor will be fully engaged in this committee. In partnership with labor unions and employers, we will deepen skills development and retraining programs so that workers can adapt to the changing needs of industry. Our world is evolving and so must our workforce. No Ghanaian will be left behind in the new economy we are building. Comrades and friends, many of you work in state-owned enterprises that have been atrociously managed over the last 8 years. I urge you not to keep quiet. When management is driving your enterprise into ruin, you are always the first to be affected by job losses when these institutions collapse. Your enterprise where you work belongs to you. They guarantee you lifelong employment, and so you must protect those enterprises. When things are going wrong, do not be afraid to say so. And as president, I will back and support you to set things right. Today we celebrate the sacrifices of workers in Ghana and around the globe. And we had a conference with SIGA, and we're giving the debt position of state-owned enterprises. And almost all of them are in debt. Even companies like Gehog Distilleries, where when I was president, they used to pay a little dividend to government. Today, they also owe. The question I ask is, how can you sell alcohol and be in debt? When Ghanaians are happy, we drink alcohol. When we are sad, we drink. When we are not happy, we are not sad, we drink. So how can you sell alcohol and lose? And so we're charging the management of state-owned enterprises and the workers. Let us work together to make sure that we make these institutions viable, because those institutions belong to all of us. My brothers and sisters, there are millions more of working age who desire to join the workforce, but they are hindered due to the lack of openings and opportunities. We've long been aware that the youth bulge poses a significant risk to our stability as a nation. It is for this reason why in the last few weeks, I have launched various flagship job creation interventions that are aimed at offering our teeming unemployed youth avenues for sustainable employment. In the period under reference, I have launched the 1 Million Coders program, which has elicited interest from close to 150,000 applicants up to date. This is an initiative that will equip our youth with world-class coding and digital skills in today's rapidly changing world. I also launched the Ijumawura initiative last Monday, which aims to facilitate the creation of 10,000 new businesses every year for young people, with a special focus on empowering our youth for the job market. This initiative is expected to create at least 20,000 decent jobs annually. And only yesterday, I launched the National Apprenticeship Program, which targets to train about 500,000 youth over 5 years with artisanal skills. These initiatives are not isolated interventions. They are interconnected pillars of a broader vision to build a resilient, inclusive, and future-ready Ghanaian economy. An economy that is not only recovering, but one that will thrive, innovate, and lead us to prosperity. Through increased investment in technical and vocational education, through support for continuous professional development, and through better alignment between education and the labor market, we will equip our people with the tools that they need, not just to survive, but to thrive. This administration is committed to decentralizing opportunity. It should not be the case that the only real chance at prosperity exists if you live in Accra or Kumasi. We will work to bring investment, jobs, and infrastructure to every region of this country, so that every Ghanaian worker, from Wa to Aflao, from Bole to Keta, from Drobo to Enchi, can have a fair and equal shot at building a meaningful life for themselves. Our national reset agenda cannot succeed without labor at the table. And that is why I will strengthen the institutional relationship between government and organized labor through regular structured dialogue. The Ministry of Employment and Labor Relations will not operate as an isolated entity, but as an active convener of tripartite collaboration where government, business, and labor will meet regularly to assess progress, to address grievances, and shape policies that work for everyone. This is not just about consultation, it is about co-ownership of the National Development Agenda. The Ministry of Labor, your ministry, may not have gotten all the resources it requested to carry out its mandate this year, but I can assure you that it affects every ministry, and it is only a temporary measure to reset our economic fortunes. Next year, things will be much better. The fight against Galamsey is a complex one. And when I was vying for the presidency, I did not kid myself that when I come into office, I will win that fight in 4 months. Yet, we will not give up. Our gallant men of the armed forces and security services are up to the fight and will continue to score successes against the selfish companies and individuals who are destroying our forests and polluting our water bodies. As far as the fight against Galamsey is concerned, I say, aluta continua. Ladies and gentlemen, the ECG has been brought to its knees by a culture of poor governance over the last 8 years, with a debt of 68 billion Ghana cedis and rising. If we do not do something drastic, our whole power sector will collapse. We can only bring down power tariffs if we improve efficiency in the distribution of power. Let me assure you, that is not my intention to privatize ECG as an institution. Our attention is more a public-private collaboration to inject efficiency into our downstream electricity distribution system. And I must say, it will not be the first time. It's been done before. When I was president, in the free zones, a private company, Enclave Power, was giving the rights of metering and billing in the free zones. Electricity company provided them with bulk supply of power. They paid the electricity company until today. They still pay electricity company monthly on time every power electricity company produces to them. And their billing and collection in the free zones enclave is 99% of revenue is collected. This is an existing example. And I'm sure that we can make our electricity distribution more efficient through public-private partnerships. But I can assure you, and read my lips for emphasis, electricity company as an institution will not be privatized. Fellow citizens, let me say this clearly to all Ghanaian workers. whether you're a teacher in the classroom, whether you're a nurse in a rural chips compound, whether you're a porter in the market, whether you're a miner deep in the bowels of the earth, whether you're a security guard on night shift, a digital innovator writing codes from your laptop, I want to tell all Ghanaian workers that you matter. Your contribution matters, and your dreams matter to us. And under my government, we will make sure that those dreams are realized. Let us leave this May Day not only with hope in our work, but with purpose in our hearts. Let us move forward as one people, workers and government, unions and employers, public and private, united in our mission to build a Ghana that rewards our efforts, protects our people, and inspires the next generation. The work ahead is great, but so is the strength of the Ghanaian worker. And with that strength, there is nothing we cannot achieve. May God bless Ghanaian workers. Long live organized labor. Long live the Republic of Ghana. And may God bless our homeland, Ghana.
Edusha Ghana Mampa Excellency John Dramani Mahama for you could get to the Bassa, the third John, and Massam, that's it. And the down question of the ma or a Jumaya for or Managanum, no one some day na a question. Now, yes, you know, the Shababum Kuma, when I am some fishing, now what we must together. The Chief Justice now a man paying was suspended and no queen obey demonstration. We saw the Wakawas and Wakas and man paying on tape into the Ujina, the building into the demonstration. Now, demonstration of the wash that do the in a wobble a yatra, Ottaman. Now, the Yacha in our baby Nanaso was some at the Kumano Asana Kafa. Oh yeah, you pay sana a man paying abu in the one court Supreme Court. No one ma atembu on Kodano. Wasan wakawa some of there. A man paying agent who susu here there. The me pay sana Boko one. Na name pene basa or peda obadano with him abado. Your question sama Adam Kuma won't be Shibogum. Over after your market, no Ujadum Kumanano, or then somewhat in Tuga. Your question.
It's not about our party or parties. It's about protecting the institutional integrity of our republic. It's about drawing a line in defense of the Constitution. And it's about telling those in power, you may have your turn, but you do not own the state.
Thank you.
The framers of our Constitution understood that democracy without an independent judiciary is no democracy at all. That is why we are gathering on Monday, 5th of May, to say enough is enough. To say that the people of Ghana will not sit idly by while their courts are captured. To say that the power may change hands, but the Constitution must always stand. And to the people of Ghana, our fellow countrymen and women, we invite you to join us. This is not just about the few political parties determining to go on the streets. Of course, we are going on a peaceful demonstration. This is not Parliament's fight. It is a fight for every citizen who wants to live in a country where the law is supreme and no man, no matter how powerful, is above the law. We say that there must be an end to the division and the anger of the past. This government must tread with the greatest caution, always keeping tomorrow in mind when taking decisions today, because these decisions may shape future governance. If we continue down this path, we risk creating a culture of retaliatory politics, where successive governments are more focused on settling political scores than solving problems. Last but not the least, it is obvious that the bold attempt by Mr. President to nominate out of the blue 7 judges to the Supreme Court is the first major attempt at all that they have rehearsed, a 3rd term agenda. All that the NDC is doing, all that our president is doing through the advice of the hawks of NDC is to set a 3rd term agenda for his leadership.
Dem kuma wo me sebogom wo pe ache nti ye hwakwanda duda woni ye cha oti dem obaba ebusia mamanda mo me sisia ya ba izge boka te na pod no ye de achom no nda kenye fidedi de boka te dudu ya no wabugodo nti medam wo ba ye ba e be ka te kaka ba kansa so ye da achom no Ebusiam se mo akwa ba mo atrase ba oye Coastal Television no Dogetaria 514 na aduma kwa dominante de boka tra abakansa ene anupenu odoso papa na mayemfa oye the Ghanaian Times yemfa nshase Ghanaian Times na wode oye Ghana mampen no igmerefo wonim kabon kompanyfo no odane no wesusensem was the together rebirth na mampen kind there ode eyije na eyidado eyidado bi da hye oye edwefo na komo de achiesu omwi ntimfeyin no de na oba panyin bi nimfeyin do da oba panyin jijefo wa bona bado oye nchankanen na oye editor de ma oye de boka tai Ghanaian Times nti DJ samchofo no kabom kunu wabo mami na bado nyenanko wabo igmefo samchofo baye edunu ebasa wona bado na mami no waye samchedman wacha papa wapa wabo eduma dasum omanagan ono na do bokata the Ghanaian Times ode abo tu gwanom yakọ Kofi News COVID news no Ghana man pese sense John Dramani Mahama no feyin ko tse na odo ho na West Evening team na so no feyin ka ho ode wa twene no so wa twene we fi oye NPP campaign tour na orokodo no West Evening team oni national chairman no so wa twene we fi oye thank you tour madase thank you tour na workon wa twene we de fi abade ntire wa twene ka tem a kire me de okidi bi sonko na wasana ba kan na NPP wone aseda wole da na fase no ni na so etum na abam na COVID news na no man pe na se mo de be no COVID se o ma pe ni de onye no kwale da yisi je duma no botan da be COVID ka oda man pe se yisi je duma won tan awona wode propaganda na yisi je botan na wode ba me yankwankwa na wode be se wo so won tan odawaje na name de oye Ghana yen ejapade da me Kofi odeben daily guide the boka tenu fein oda bano o man pe ni fein de so wo na oye owa edubu ayen no so no fein de na menye na the boka te daily guide chem de oye open alo free na woni pain alo free na woni pain ano oye owa anyini na wasi chi ode owe edubu ahe ne yere eti we charging sika that no do oye 49.1 million hey na before that ka thief na anawa yo ebusha ye na boka tin bikana no so ebon ye ma na wa bana bado no so no fe ne da wa ye ni e no nye A+ hona sam no so no buan A+ atutu bi ama wa ye ni papa na ebusha ye boka tin bikan de ga boka kire wo de A+ wa fa nche papa ola papa se na bi ye djuma ono mo na djura ye djuma before you say him na ebusenye fe no do na emba oye the new center the boka tenu na ode ifeyin na aba no de bugo fine kama ma narrative leader na wose the moon obabado odo do be se ujagano ma page tententenati there oye chief justice will be in for that won so obokos the mo nti the moon babado ama pay ni fein odaso ina igmayefo oni pay ni so ni fein daso ye fi ondo na yanko the informer ena ode NPP Dr. Mamudu Bawumia ni fein daso wo ne fagbera no so ni fein abada owura napo na mala ma pay so ni fein do wa nyene na A+ yo owura yeni attorney general ina also why crowd da onye A+ oyini bi fihwe papa nta we bi ni we fe na da the informer na yim won ehun ya so abata e bi aso she suit na we are you also why crowd pa da of the A+ no gota politics na opero yen data politics na opero yen no obatwan pa no dini bi senyi na opero mo ono tasida no small boy ya man wa be politics ni ma no wa wo ma anti se opero be bada ano oyin be si papa usande itibia no wo chaw ndabe na papa olo kan olo itibia na no wo chaw itibia na wo chaw na the Daniel point no so the government penny fame or that bottle some corner na president Mahama so that economy the government economy or share na we jire e we show call the daily satellite the boka challenge fame bi aba e we show me yen kakra ono ye de you pay no the way ko you pay no na eko oye eastern radio pay mantom boni bi ho wutahia na aka ba ne de awon wutahia ibi mo sira asase e wono de ibi nso so asase e wono bisia na o dem wo ye from o dem wo ye wo bugigigigigigi osinda ba na mpe num to wa to ho ma the daily satellite ordinary feyino odi aban the publisher so odi bi abogbado na yanko oye the daily statement so odi bi aba daily graphic odi bi aba na daily times so no so odi bi aba god papa na yeko oye se news da o Ghana man pay ECG 1 ton ECG 1 ton no so no feyinum odo national voice iyo national voice aba osima ama tetam agenda no na wo protein nti the minute we wa pa moye adegefo isan da wonko na onko ye sesai no onto mo nko tetam it was the chronicle the boka tell for no be no ano odi fe ile bi ni pe A+ no yi AG kan A+ no yi attorney general oya ayoni awon de wo fe no de bugo na who is who iyana no oya ya nchema me ye we fie na nchema kama won gloves na nchema bi je isi the park he na nchema me ya wo campaign na nchema wo bi bi giram na chapopopo na nchema ahwe me yiro wo mo wo do boka tim na no alo kisaga aro ye pe do boka tim ko na no ye ko no mo papa na mama gloves ni bi je isi the park wo e ba dentem na chi etwe tiktik kaka wo nche bi wie na wo ko bokoro me ya wo percentage atasema eko wo ko lo boka te bo yeduma enti owo anyoni na da ko ne kana no we dey mu aka ne pe anyoni is mad ayo over A plus those are so what ebusian you do boka temi bikana ebuda orokodo na mebe do so ayebe make say Umar bin Abdallah oyo wo na po den na odida awakalo so laboti ondo the public press no so about Daily Post no so abugado nkomo no owo no oyo the papa current issue current issue the book at channel Ghana no penalty was no ECG sell off to rather button ECG do no crowd Metrolines na or the YEA CEO no wa show there sir Zumla yofo one two edumefo wa kuchema also one contract well one sign one contract one new farm YEA nti no mu hihye na YEA kwanchafu payment onye oye mbebili ji homa we ma so ntochere obi edu Jumla yin bia se Jumla yofo pa won si to we na fo na kuchema awon so won sign won contract won farm on ebusia nti mama fancy na mama koroma Umar bin Abdallah amma telefon na onye komototwe onye pefo komototwe bi aka no e fa mo chem na sama all the bukate mi oya kono do in na fide do bukate dala ntefie ni na wa bugoro kama bisia ba mo de boko goro na aka bi ato minna do na mo fa sida mo fa ma ibisafa wo hwe Facebook ni na yenda wona ase don na so wo hwe negeta na sirfo sofo mankesim abodun kwa apam short porn na kaswa we na no yeda wase e ta kwa defo kodokom ye chewe na wo se yeda wase papa de wo hwe go TV do wo takrade da mara so na ibisafa wo eni na edna ampenyi nye edna ampenyi madam Angela waso yeda wase papa ya bad na bantu mada ebisafo ina no ye chia won papa e da homa se da wa mo television aye number 1 obibi a obi an UCC amomma kwapaw won so e da homa se da mara na CCTU eni sano won so da waso wa boaten awo na ye ebisafo na so ya da wase da ye nya so wa na degeta no aye number 1 ya da wase da homa se e mo ndo fi aga aseda sonko onkoma technical director Professor Emmanuel Kwamna Bafedi prof ya da wase da ma da asede bin komo oya market na ye ebusafo we na adodoma e be se hia na ye the center focus di wadin da abram and pe se na mo acho
first girl sending na mako e come na odem fita ne payment didi mpeda me fail me tank e come na odem monye di chinu ma e basa irade e come na odem ye we come bien ayade combat ye funu come na odem yo I go by the name Don Prof. Tune in to Coastal Television or the Guitar 514 and YouTube live photo na yen say we are back Coastal TV. Respect.
Well,